Hi guys, this is Romy for MUSA XO, a channel that I started in Spanish for practical philosophy and spirituality, mainly taking all this wisdom that we have and making it a practical use for our daily interactions and our daily challenges, and really with the goal of reducing suffering and helping people find their truth and their light, really to help people live their truth sooner. I really think that we take so long to get there. Why? We get so long, we go around and around and around in a lot of places and spaces that are not necessarily the path of least resistance. The path of least resistance. And I think that when you are tuned into your own energy and know really how to understand, how to listen to your inner voice and train yourself a little bit in how to understand your higher self and your intuition and your highest guidance, your wiser self, your super soul, whatever you want to call it. Some people call it God. You get sooner to places, and also you get to places in life sooner and also with less resistance and much more joy, instead of complete destruction, suffering, physical devastation, emotional devastation, relationship mess, etc., etc. So this is really why I am super interested in practical philosophy, which is really studying the art of living, and of thinking, and how the mind works together with the body, with the soul. But I like the integrative aspect of it, because it's not only mind and body. Really, the governing energy that is supreme is your soul. And I think sometimes that we open the faucet to wash our hands, and there's only a little trickle of soul coming in, and we don't know what we're doing. So you wash your hands and you leave them all sticky and soapy, and then you dry yourself up and you walk around with your sticky soapy hands. And all you needed to do was go under the sink and open that key, and I don't even know how to say that in English, the pipe. Just open the pipe under, and then water comes gushing. And that really is the energy of your soul. When you open that, it comes gushing in, and then you gain clarity, and you know how to travel. It's like, going this way, I like it, I continue that way. Going that way, I don't like it, I retrieve and I go. So anyways, that's really wise living from my perspective. And it comes blessed with a ton of things and a ton of joy and a ton of magnificent life experience. Really, this video was not for that. This video was a translation of the one that I just did in Spanish, which was a reminder of how to achieve higher energy levels physically. Meaning, how do you go from feeling really at the bottom of the pyramid, right? Really at the bottom of the pyramid, with combination of feelings of desire, anger, fears, a little bit of grief, a little bit of guilt, a little bit of shame, maybe some pride, a little bit of courage, a little bit of pride, but not really higher energy, higher consciousness levels, like really understanding optimism, love, clarity, etc., etc. Those are the higher consciousness levels. And from there is that you attract the things that you crave, the things that your soul yearns for. From that space is that they come to you sooner. And how do you get to those levels? Really, one of the easiest ways to getting there is practicing gratitude, which sounds so cliche, and it sounds like you already do it because you're so grateful for your health, your kids' health, your car, your husband, your family. You're just grateful for all of these things, right? But I feel like a lot of the appreciation of gratefulness that happens a little bit at the level of the heart, mostly at the level of the mind, and it doesn't really trigger a change. It doesn't really trigger a movement of energy. and really a transformation of energy at the physical, molecular, cellular, atomic level, which feels very, very differently. And so how can you go deeper? And how can you go deeper? And one of the easiest practices, and that I discover, I'm sure somebody else, everything else somebody else discovered, but what I like about this channel is that because I didn't study this, everything that I say, it's not really necessarily because I learned it anywhere, just because in practice it works and it makes sense. And it makes sense, and I'm very, very demanding with it making sense. And I like the empirical aspect of it, etc., etc. So with this gratitude theme, that is like, how can you really, what's cool about gratitude? Gratitude is a bridge between where you are energetically. Maybe you're feeling depressed, maybe you're feeling clouded or fearful or betrayed or whatever, just a low energy level that you just really have a desire for a lot of things, but they're not coming to you because you just are in a mixed up vibration of things that are a little bit of gratitude, but mixed with confusion, shame, and it's just too much stuff. So you really don't have the attracting power of true gratitude because it's just too clouded, it's too mixed up. So how do you get there? And one of the things that I think works fabulously is observing nature, not observing nature only, just reflecting on the generosity of nature towards us, reflecting on this fact: everything that you eat, everything that you've ever eaten, everything that is in your refrigerator, in your freezer, in your pantry, everything comes from nature. Your house comes from nature. All of it comes from nature. Your clothing comes from nature. Your technology comes from nature. It doesn't matter. Synthetic materials come from nature, come from the elements of nature. Pharmaceutical materials come from nature. Supplements come from nature. Your purse comes from it. Everything comes from nature. Can you imagine the generosity nature has towards us, living sentient beings? Can you imagine the huge generosity of just giving and giving and giving and giving? And I feel like sometimes we are so, I don't want to say spoiled, but we really, that's not necessarily what we think of when we're feeling appreciative. Maybe we'll have a moment where, oh, what a beautiful day, and you see the blue sky, but that's not really a deep trance of gratitude. I need water. Even salt comes from nature. I couldn't live without salt. Even salt and pepper come from nature. So going into a reflection about how immensely generous nature has been with us forever. Today, everything, every little leaf that inhabits your refrigerator, everything comes from there. And so having a moment there reflecting the overwhelming, indescribable amount of love that nature has put in our lives, we might really feel that movement and say, oh my God, this is so disarming. Like, this is an incredible feeling of a shift within you saying, okay, I get it. This is how it feels to truly be grateful, to truly be moved by the energy of gratitude, by the energy of grace. You will feel grace within you when you are in deep gratitude. And grace feels very heavenly. It's very different than listing the things that you're grateful for with your mind and with your voice. All these things. Very different to go in deep, because you're not going to be here in front of a tree saying, tree, thank you. No, you don't even have to say. It's just a deep gratitude towards nature in general, and really listing all the things that you can name around you that nature has given you. And so in all that generosity, in all that abundance, in all that gratitude and humility from you saying, can't believe somebody has been so kind to offer me all of this for my growth, for the growth of the people that I love, for the multiplication and division of all my cells, etc., etc. Wow, massive change. Start climbing the pyramid. Get to the higher levels of joy. Well, the higher levels are peace, joy, love, and gratitude. And this is just one scheme of that. It's just an illustration of it, but I think it does give a good example. So I wanted to leave you guys with that because I think it's really cool to remember, and I think that contemplation can help you really go deeper, and you can use that with other things, but I think that with nature it's pretty impressive when you look around, and everything you touch and see and have consumed so far in your life comes from that, from hair. Anyways, a big hug for everybody, and I hope this helps you. Thank you so much, and I'll be here and I'll be there and everywhere, in online and social media, mostly in YouTube. So subscribe if you like this, and lots of love, and see you soon.